Thank you, Dr. Wilkerson. I appreciate that. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm Phil Johnson, as you just heard, and I'm on the Texas Supreme Court. I've been there since 2005 when Governor Perry appointed me, and I've met all kinds of people tonight who said, I never knew. And that's all right, because I tell people, if you knew who it's kind of, being on an appellate court is kind of like being a referee at a ball game. If you know the referee's name when the game's over, that referee did not have a good day. You know, we've been seeing a couple of them on the internet lately, haven't we, on some of these football games. But I have been on the court since 2005. Governor Perry appointed me. Let me just give you a bit of a background on myself. And when I graduated from college, I went into the military. The Air Force paid for my flight education. I appreciated that. They sent me to Southeast Asia and permitted me to fly fighter bombers over there, helping our ground troops out. When I was a young man, I thought that was thrilling. Now that I'm older, I think, you know, it's danger, and I am concerned for our young men and women who are in harm's way, and we should be grateful for them. They sacrificed for us. But after that, I went to law school at a school out on the South Plains that Judge Wood went to. Texas Tech University, graduated from there, practiced law, another Raider. We're going to recruit better in the next few years, and we'll show it. But practiced law for a little over 20 years, mainly doing civil trial law, mainly defending people who had been sued in lawsuits. I ran for and was elected to the 7th Court of Appeals, sits in Amarillo, was elected Chief Justice of that, and was serving as Chief Justice when Governor Perry appointed me to the Supreme Court. So I've been on the bench about 15 years now, finishing up 15 years. When I was elected, what I felt as a lawyer, some of the key things I look for in a judge, and that's what I've tried to do since I've been on the bench. Number one, impartiality. When you get on the bench, you don't advocate anymore. And all of these judges in here can tell you that's what you have to do is you have to strive and struggle to do that so that you decide the case based upon the facts that are brought to you and the law. It's what we call the rule of law in this country. It's greater than any person, greater than a president. We found out about that a couple of times in the past. Number two, I try not to say anything or do anything that makes people think that I'm not going to be impartial when their case comes before me, because our judiciary depends on the confidence of our populace and our citizens that they can bring cases to us and have them decided impartially. And then the third thing, I only have three parts to my platform: be impartial, appear impartial, and number three is don't legislate from the bench. We're a third branch of government. We do not pass the laws, we interpret them. Now, when we interpret them, so you can carve out a word here or you can add a word there and make a law seem different. Just as we have to strive to be impartial, and it's a struggle every day, I can tell you that, on the appellate bench particularly, you have to strive to be able to say, look, we could fit, even if we think this law needs a little fix here, we can't do it. That's not our job. And we have to remember that. And so I try every day, every case that comes before me, that's one of the things that I remember, those three things: impartiality, appear to be impartial, and don't legislate from the bench. Now, I would say to you this: those of us, the judges are here, appellate judges or on the bench, either one. There are a lot of people. We're going to have 30 people on our primary ballot at the land commission and above it, and the executives and the legislators, and then you're going to have local legislators. Judges, sometimes people go into the ballot box and they say, they vote on people they've heard on TV, and then they get down to the judiciary part and they say, what? We elect judges in this state. You know, who knew? Now, most of you here have been in that ballot box before, so you know. A lot of your friends and neighbors don't. It is important. We're going to have all kinds of TV ads this year. I think it's going to come down to old-time politics. Talk to your friends and your neighbors. Decide who you want to be on the bench. Your trial benches are just as important as we are. They handle your everyday stuff. But I would say to you, when it comes time to vote in the primary, we're not sure yet. We haven't had the filing period. Many of us are going to have primary opponents. Make a list, particularly as to the judiciary. Let me make a pitch for the whole judiciary. Whoever you see, you talk to, be able to tell your friends and neighbors. If you're on the internet, get on the internet and say, look, I know this person, give them a list. Help us out. Ladies and gentlemen, I've been on the court now going on 9 years, and I'd like at least one more term. Phil Johnson. I would appreciate your support. Thank you.
Thank you.
Say something. We're in the middle of hearing oral arguments. I got to go back to Austin tonight and be there early in the morning. So if you'll excuse me, I appreciate the opportunity to go early.
We appreciate you making the trip over here.